Hello there, Replica family. I'm so happy to come online again today to introduce a friend, to introduce the Reverend Eli Ibrahim Kerek, the Reverend Doctor, soon to be Doctor,
Mm.
and to introduce him and welcome him to the Replica family. Reverend Eli Ibrahim Kerek has been a good friend of mine, and we went to school together. Believe you me, there was a time that we were roommates, and and we did a lot of things together. And he has been a blessing. Right now, he's doing his doctoral studies at Western Seminary.
Western Baptist Theological Seminary.
Western Baptist Theological Seminary in Missouri, and he will soon finish that. And he is so passionate. He is one person that is so passionate about marriage, counseling, and trauma, and psychology from a Christian perspective. And just helping, he is someone that loves to see people thrive in all ramifications of life, and both socially, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and otherwise. And of course, he has been in ministry for many, many years, and he's an ordained pastor with Aqua, and but for the past 7 or 8 years he has been here in the States studying. So I'm so delighted to welcome him. He will be coming here. I will allow him to speak in a bit, but he will be coming every Saturday afternoon, almost the same time. He will be coming to give us a lot of content. He will be talking about marriage and psychology, whatever that means. When he starts, he's going to talk to us about that, but he will be talking specifically about marriage. He's an experienced married man. I don't know what that means. But he will be gearing jokes aside. He will be talking about marriage from a Christian theological and practical psychological perspective. So I'm so delighted to welcome you to the Replica family, my dear friend.
Thank you, my brother and a friend. I'm really delighted to be part of this wonderful move that God is doing through the Replica Church, and I believe it is not so common to see how God works in diverse ways and in means that we cannot imagine. So for me, it's a privilege to be part of this move, so to say. And of course, as my brother and friend did introduce me, Eli Ibrahim Kerek is the name, and of course, currently a student at Midwestern Baptist Theological Seminary. And I'm hoping that from that perspective or from that background, I would be interacting with you guys wherever you are. I want to believe Replica has gone global, and wherever you are, I am hoping that as we look at what is most, I will put it that way, most appealing, most disturbing, most confusing at times, and is nothing but marriage, actually, as he rightly said. But I know when you hear that, you would say, well, what is new? What is Ellie going to tell us new, about marriage? Well, I know, because you have a bunch of people out there, social media, books, and the rest talking about marriage. But I think I just want to kind of give you another aspect that you don't know probably, or you are aware of, but you don't know that it is from that angle. I want to talk about um, marriage and psychology. I know the question would be, what is the connection? What is the link? Marriage and psychology. And yeah, sure. But put that aside, we would come back to that. But I know, talking about marriage, every young man and a woman their dream, or who are intending to have a family. I want to believe that your question is always that, I mean, how am I going to do it? And how good is my marriage going to be, or my family going to look like? But I want to assure you that we're gonna look at it from a perspective that people have not seen why those problems, and why are we not getting it the way we're supposed to get it. We will talk about that. And so in that, from that perspective, I just want you to just keep it at the back of your mind that yes, there's something. But permit me to just mention this. One of the things that we don't really know, that marriage from a psychological perspective, you don't think about the biological behavior that is in the marriage. Before you think about marriage, you don't think about your own human behaviors. You don't think about how have I come up, and what is really in me biologically that could relate to that thing that will connect to something that is outside me. So we would talk about that, and I believe there are minds out there that we can also rub with them. And sometimes I'll just raise a question and let's ponder over it and see what you think about that. And basically that's what we'll be talking about, because I know from the biblical perspective, from the Christian perspective, we cannot deny the fact that marriage, as we would say theologically, is an institution. Oh yes, of course, we also going to look at that. Why is it an institution? Because it is the first institution ever that you can think about. We would look at it and see, why is it an institution? Why is it an institution? So, but I believe that in every dysfunctional home or dysfunctional marriage, there must be a reason why. Because God made everything. When He made everything, He said everything is perfect, everything perfect. But now that we are the ones complaining, struggling, asking question why and why that, meaning there's a dysfunction. There's a dysfunction, or what really brought about the dysfunction is what we kind of don't really look into that. And of course, I want to believe that if we want a healing, from my own theory of the psychology we're talking about, I believe in the Bible is number one thing that I believe I hold so firmly in whatever I do. And that's why I believe what one of my professors would say. She said, full healing of mankind comes only through Jesus, only through Jesus. And of course, for her, the integration of faith with psychology provides a powerful means to help those who are hurting and fulfill the commandment to love another person. Or because of course, if you cannot really, love yourself, or look into yourself, now it'll be difficult for you to look into another person, because there's a struggle. Conflict is within and outside us. And so definitely whatever causes our dysfunction in our marriages, we don't pay attention to what really brings about the dysfunction, which I believe is sometimes it could be the conflict that is between us, and that could lead to an external conflict. So stay tuned, as we kind of look forward. I look forward to really hearing you, reading from you, and kind of, I cannot wait to see the questions that will be coming, reading questions that will be coming from you. So I pray that God is going to help us, together, and see how we can make things work together. Thank you, Replica Church, for having me, being part of the move.
Awesome. It is a great delight to have you to join the Replica family. And I believe Eli is one person that is very practical. He doesn't concern himself with theological jargons or with difficult concepts. He is very, very down to earth. And of course, if he wants to do that, he can do that if he starts throwing those psychological terms around. But I know he's not going to intimidate you with those terms. He will be very down to earth. It's not something that he will just be talking about from a theoretical perspective. Of course, he's married. Of course, his marriage is not perfect, but I know that he is very, very passionate about it. And I think that is what counts. He's very, very passionate about the institution of marriage. Hardly will you have a 1 hour or 30 minutes conversation
Oh, man. No way.
with him without him switching in or saying something about marriage. He always has a way of talking about marriage. I nicknamed him when we were in Pennsylvania. He was my neighbor for a few years. I nicknamed him. I'm not going to tell you the name, but he is a professor of marital affairs. Jokes aside, I will encourage you because, just as he said, marriage has many people are struggling. Christians, people in ministry, and all kinds of people are struggling with marriage, but nobody wants to be talking about it, right? People shy away from talking about marriage. Even if they want to do it, they want to do it secretively, or even if they want to do it, they do it in such a way that they are not really
Avoid
on the head. They just go around, talking about other things without talking about the real thing. So we have already spoken with my brother. He said he will be bringing different guests here to talk about marriage. Of course, not only men, mostly probably women. We'll hear the perspectives of Christian women from him. So just be on the lookout. He will interview people. Of course, sometimes he will come alone and just have these interactions, but he will also interview people to just talk about these things, especially those things that we don't usually feel comfortable to talk about. He will be addressing the big elephant in the room. I see marriage in Christianity is like the big elephant in the room that no one wants to talk about. So I know this is going to be quite interesting, not just because the issues that he will be bringing are interesting, but because he is also a very interesting person to listen to. So once again, thank you, Reverend Watt. Dominic is saying he is really, really curious to know the perspective that you have to offer. And this is considering the diversity and subjectivity of the subject matter. Of course, the issue of marriage is very subjective, and there is no one rule that applies to all. So this brother here, he has been dedicated his time to study this, and he's passionate about it. He's studying it to the doctoral level. And I will encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity. So once again, my dear friend and brother, I'm so delighted to welcome you.
Thank you very much.
To the Replica family.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Yeah. So the next time you see Reverend Kerek, he will be coming here alone, unless he invites me. He wants to interview me about something about marriage, which I will not advise him to do. So once again, thank you so much. The Replica family warmly welcomes you, and we cannot wait. Starting next week, Saturday. Check this page. Yours is Central Time, right?
Yeah, Central Time.
12 p.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That is my time, and 6 p.m. the West African time. That is Nigerian time if you are in Nigeria or anywhere in West Africa. So just be on the lookout. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. Again, Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and 6 p.m. West African Time. I cannot wait to see your first, your first episode by this time next week.
Amen.
All right, for all of you at the Replica family, once again, thank you so much. Just as I said, there are just many people that will be joining this to come with different aspects, to talk about different things, especially things that they are passionate about. I've been in conversation with a lot of people, very interesting people that will be bringing different niches, to address them from biblical and theological perspective. So once again, thank you so much. Pastor Samson, I can see you. He's saying, Replica Church, thank you for bringing the stars down to earth. Yeah, thank you so much, C3, for your comment. And there is no use on, trying to speak in the ear. We need to be talking practically, and that is what ministry is all about. Thank you so much. I also hear a lot about you from your dear friend, what Dominic. You are doing great job here in Gombe pastoring. Keep the good work. Thank you so much. All right. Any final words? By final words, I mean before we go off air for now, from you, Reverend Kerek.
Oh well, I'm excited. Really, I cannot wait to meet really faces or probably hear comment. I know maybe they might not. I might not see people faces, but my face. So just to say, it'll be an exciting moment. It'll be an educating moment, an informative moment. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So this also begs the question, so to speak, that if you have any questions about marriage, here is your man. He will be open to hear your questions. What do you can even inbox him and say, I would love to see you talk about this. So you can just leave that in the comments.
Exactly.
We'll be reading that in case you're watching this after we have gone off air. Just feel free to put your comments. He will be taking those into consideration. Even as he continues to do this, he will be entertaining your questions, some of the things that you want him to talk about. I am very sure there is no topic about marriage that my brother will be afraid to talk about. So once again, thank you so much. The Lord bless you and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye for now.